I know you've mentioned this before when you and I have talked, but like when you're about ready to go to that next level of like your vibration, how you feel like itchy and like kind of you're like ready to just like break out of it so that you can level up. It usually is the same kind of thing with your closet. When you're feeling like nothing is resonating with you, it's because a lot of you inside has changed.
Danielle Mercury, it's time for the show with Danielle. Welcome to the show. Danielle Mercury, it's time for the show. It's time for the show.
Hello. We are continuing our recording on the road, and I'm always very curious, does the person in the hotel room next to me hear this? Hello? No response. Perhaps they don't. So welcome. This episode tonight is a really groovy one. It's with my friend, Susan Padron, who is an intuitive personal stylist. Yeah. Isn't it so cool that we live in a world now where we can literally embody who we are in ways like this, right? To encompass the intuitive side of who we are with the creative stylist side, which is Susan. And I love that she's just really embraced this and isn't allowing herself to just pick one role or say, oh, I'm just a stylist or I'm just an intuitive. It's like, no, I'm both. And I'm bringing them together because it's special and it's necessary. When I met Susan, it was literally like on the onset of my return to Philadelphia. And she had just left her job as a high school band teacher. Susan, sorry if I'm messing this up, but she had just left her job. She had long brown hair and she was so like curious and excited and ready to really embrace this world of being on her own as a stylist. And I feel like a few months later, she made the move to just chop off her hair, dye it blonde, and really embrace her style and who she is. And I feel like she did that through an intuitive process, which is now, of course, what she brings to other people. And we talk more about the gist of what she does, but it's so important. Recently, a friend and I were talking about a stylist, and she was like, why do you need a stylist? Like, not me personally, but in general, like, why do people need stylists? And I'm like, well, there's, of course, like photo shoots and movie sets and whatnot, but it's actually a really beautiful opportunity to get in touch with your body and really take the time to see what works and what doesn't. Because so often when we're not in alignment with our body, with it physically, with the way that it looks, the way that it feels, it's really hard to want to get excited about how we're going to dress it, how we're going to adorn it. You know, I say often, we chose this body. I feel like we were looking down from the universe or heaven or wherever our soul was hanging out before it chose to make the decision to come to earth, whether for the first time or the thousandth time. And it was like, ooh, look at that body. Look at that model. Ooh, I want to be that human. And like your soul just picked you out and was like, this is the body that I'm claiming. This is the body that we're going to do really amazing things and journey on with and be challenged and grow and evolve. And so we really got to honor that. We got to honor the fact that our soul chose this body, but easier said than done, right? When you're having a bad day or you're feeling bloated, or you've gained weight or you've lost weight, sometimes you don't quite feel like your body is yours. I definitely suffered years of body dysmorphia where I was very confused. I didn't understand the way my body was reflected to me in the mirror. I would look at myself, but I couldn't make the connection. It was dysmorphia. It was a disconnect. And so again, clothing was something I always loved and definitely a fashion always drawn to. I remember getting Delia's catalogs. Remember the Delia's catalogs? Oh, they're the best. And I would comb through and I would dog mark all the things that I would want. But because I didn't really understand my body, there were days where I didn't feel like if I was even worthy of the clothing, or if it was a right fit, or what did fit me, or what did look good on me. And it wasn't until I started to get into a process of intuitive healing within my own self, within my own mind, body, spirit, with my eating, that I started to turn things around and get really excited about fashion again, and the ways that I could dress up my body or dress it down or whatever flavor it needed to be. I'm always changing my clothes because I'm always changing my mood. Right now I have just like a really, I don't know what this is. I'm really good at this, right? I'm like, and I'm wearing something on my body. I'm not sure what it is. Oh, it's a shirt. Yeah. So I'm wearing a shirt, a long sleeve. It's one of those, like when it gets colder out, it's like those, like, it's like skin tight kind of, but not skin tight where you're like uncomfortable. And then like these really cute sweatpants that I got from Nordstrom Rack. Love Nordstrom Rack. And I feel really good. And I feel really cozy. And I feel ready to hit the road in about an hour or so. So it's perfect. It makes me want to sip my coffee. Let me do that. Yum. So let's get back to the space of intuitive stylist that is Susan. What she does is she takes you into the space of what works for you and helps you move beyond the emotional discomfort that may come up in the process. Dressing rooms can be really emotional. I can't tell you how many times I've been in a dressing room and either heard other people making remarks about their body in a negative way, or personally beating myself up. Like, why didn't you go to the gym this week? Or why did you have to have that extra slice of pizza, or blah, 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 right? And I'm going down this rabbit hole because of a way a certain pair of jeans look on me that maybe we're just never meant to be. And so to have someone with you that is supportive and encouraging and can bring in that empathy and also that intuition to really, and expertise and knowledge and style and fashion, to really give you a look and a feeling and a persona that feels good to you, to where you are now. Not when you lose 10 pounds, not when you start this like bodybuilding routine, none of that, right? This is about who you are today and embracing yourself fully and dressing to the occasion. Doesn't that feel good? I think so. So that's what feels good to me about Susan and what she does. And further, what she does and what she's doing, she actually has a retreat coming up. She's teaming up with another friend of mine, Carrie. Oh, I'm going to mess up your name. Carrie Tamunina. Oh my gosh, I love your last name. Why have I never attempted to say it out loud? Carrie Tamanina. Ooh, yum. Carrie, you have a really good last name. Side note. Okay, so Susan and Carrie are offering a retreat in mid-November outside of Philadelphia in a mansion. 3 days, 2 nights, designed to empower and inspire you to show up fully in your love life as the best version of yourself. Yes. So this is an intimate gathering of women coming together to get a better sense of who they are and uncover what is holding them back from having a gorgeous, beautiful love life that you deserve. I'm going to be there too. Cool, right? I'm just there for a little bit, though I feel like I should be there the whole weekend, seriously. But my piece in all of this at the Emerge Retreat will be setting up a love and confidence via the stars session for you all. So essentially, I'll have access to everybody's chart ahead of time. And then you'll get a little bit of a deep dive into astrology, what the stars mean, how we can understand it a little bit better and give it personal meaning. And then from there, I'm going to comb through everybody's charts and we're going to highlight the areas that are most influenced by love, by confidence, by worthiness, and how you can kind of start to feel out when your hot spots are, if you will, like when you're really prime and sexy and open, and when, maybe you need to retreat a little bit and be a little bit more dormant, so to speak. It's going to be really fun. So I'm excited about that. So again, it's a 3-day experience right outside of Philadelphia, November 15th to 17th in a mansion. Did I mention in a mansion? There's going to be a chef, a vegan chef, I'm pretty sure. At least vegetarian. So delicious food. In addition, you're going to get intuitive personal styling with Susan. You're going to learn lots of tools and techniques to embody who you are confidently, authentically. My words are really fudged. I need another sip of coffee, apparently. Okay. Now I'm Now I'm smart again. Smart juice. And what else is going to happen? Just lots of magic. And I have held a few retreats now personally, and I've been to a plethora of retreats. And I'm telling you, there is a magic that happens that you cannot comprehend until you get into that space. There is connection, there is growth, there is transformation. I literally have goosebumps right now because I'm going to that place. It is unreal. So if you're interested, you want to go to emergeretreat.com, connect with Susan and Carrie. I will be there as part of the experience. I know you'll be getting a really sexy boudoir. Oh, man, me and the words today. Boudoir. How do you say boudoir? Photo shoot. I need to get one of those. Sounds like I need to be at this, huh? Well, I am going to be at it, but I may, if you see me like kind of creeping after my session and kind of sticking around, don't judge me. All right. So emergeretreat.com. It's amazing. And my dear friend, Susan, you can find her on the web at susanpatronstylist.com. But let's get into the episode, shall we? Adore you. Hey, Susan, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm doing so well. How are you?
I'm good. I'm happy we're talking because you're like basically a lot of the things that I love.
Oh,
I mean, yeah, you're intuitive, you're sassy, you're a stylist, you're into fashion, you love the 90s and neon and Lisa Frank.
yes.
So that's pretty much an extension of me.
Well, I'm honored. You are like all of the things that I love as well. So it's a happy connection.
It is. So I would love, okay, so one of the things that you mention about you somewhere that I read is that you can read people's energy and you can read the way it translates in their clothes. Can you share that?
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, by being an intuitive stylist, it's kind of like, a term that I've used before is like a style translator, where I love to communicate with people and take in what they're saying to me as well as like what they're not, and really forming that into their personal style. So, they'll be talking and telling me about what they love to do, what they, how they describe themselves. But then, when we get together and we're really continuing that conversation, I'm able to like really read that energy and see where it's being directed into their words and how we can really translate it into their clothes and how they're showing up.
Yeah, because that seems to be such a confusing thing for people no matter what, right?
Yeah.
We're always afraid of questions because we don't know how to answer them. Who am I? What do I do? How do I show up? And the same thing happens with fashion, right? The way that we express ourselves, they're definitely correlated.
Definitely. Yeah. I think that a lot of it is just really figuring out how they want to show up, like what parts of themselves they feel comfortable highlighting, and then, just committing to that. And also committing to the fact that it can change from day to day.
Right.
You can feel different from one day to the next, but you can still have that consistency within your personal style so that you're still showing off a little bit of yourself every day, no matter what.
Totally. I mean, I've shared that before that I change my outfit multiple times a day
Yeah.
because it's like, my day changes multiple times a day, right? I mean, very few and far between is there a day where I'm literally wearing the same thing from the morning I wake up to the end of the day. And oftentimes if that's the day, it's probably because I'm sick or like I'm literally doing nothing and I'm just binging or something, right? Like those are the days where I don't change at all. But I feel like otherwise, like my day is rolling and so are my outfits.
Yeah, I love that. And I feel the same way too. Like what I'm wearing now, when I've had like phone sessions and just working on my laptop is going to be very different than like when I go out tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not because what I'm going to wear when I go out tonight is going to be anything like fancy, but, as how I'm showing up changes, like literally and also energetically, my outfit needs to reflect that too.
Right, which is an interesting thing. So, okay, for example, so right now I'm wearing like a cute little fall outfit. It's literally maroon sweatpants and this like burnt orange Henley top, right?
Mhm.
Like cute, but also very casual, very appropriate for the fact that I'm at home recording with you.
Yeah.
Yes? Hmm.
Yeah.
So translate, and it still reflects my style because it's kind of like funky colors together and
Mhm.
whatnot. So then fast forward to, yes, going out tonight, I wouldn't keep this outfit on because it
Mhm.
doesn't feel appropriate. But then I wonder, is that just because I've been conditioned by society that it's not appropriate? Or is it really truly just like, I know that I'm going, like, for example, I'm going to an event tonight where someone is speaking and I'm going to be around a lot of like-minded peers and individuals that are in my community. So why does it matter so much? I'm just curious what your thought process is around this, why we change our outfit to reflect what it is, and why do we care?
Yeah, I think that both of those elements that you brought up definitely apply. I think for some people that they do have that added pressure of how they're going to be perceived or what they're expected to wear. But I think, if you're going out to an event where it's going to be high energy and you're going to be around other people that and that are like minded, and that you're excited about the event too, you're probably going to want to show up in a more like vibrant way,
Mhm.
in a way that just reflects the energy that you're going to be feeling, that you're going to be giving off, and the energy of the space too. So wearing like comfortable sweatpants, although it still probably feels like you would have that conflict of energy when you
Mm.
show up to that space. Like you're going to want to feel hyped and excited and like you're having fun, and the energy that cute sweatpants gives you doesn't really match that.
Yeah. I like the way that you said that conflict of energy because it becomes less about the conflict of the expectation of what I think people have of me and more so the conflict of energy. Well, I don't want to bring loungy, still at work mode Danielle into a event where again, peers, community, there's a expectation of how my energy is going to be and what I wear correlates to that energy.
Right.
I like
Just
it.
like, on the flip side of things, if you were wearing, one of those like beautiful, vibrant printed dresses right now, that would feel like a little bit of a conflict of energy too.
Mhm.
So it's
Right, if I was just wearing it like, I was like, "Well, I know I'm going to this event tonight, why don't I put on this outfit now?"
right.
It would be okay, but it's kinda like, do I really want to?
Yeah.
No, I don't wanna get dirty. That's mainly the main thing. I'll probably spill something on it. That happened to me last week. There was an outfit and I decided to that I was gonna wear, and I decided to put it on early, and then, yeah, I definitely then I decided to, repot my plants in it, which is not a good idea.
Oh
Then
no.
I got dirt on it.
For me, it's usually like a fear of animal fur, like
Yeah.
cats and my dog. Like
Mhm.
I usually need to wait if I'm going to put on
Yes.
anything like super cute
Yes.
until
So that makes sense. Pet mom problems and plant mom problems over here.
yes.
I don't want the dirt from my plants to get on me. This is my life. Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. So, what about for the people? Because I think this is a big thing that comes up for a lot of us, that feeling of I have nothing to wear, right? So, there's one, we're trying to talking about that conflict of energy of like, when you do like your choice of clothing and you kind of understand how to shift energetically from one modality to the next. But what about when you're in that feeling of like not feeling like you have something that represents your energy and being in that moment of being excited about going somewhere, but then having that feeling of, oh, like I have nothing to wear, nothing looks good on me, nothing is right.
Yeah, I think um, those moments usually happen when people are at a point of transition in their life.
Mm.
Like I know you've mentioned this before when you and I have talked, but like when you're about ready to go to that next level of like your vibration, how you feel like itchy and like kind of you're like ready to just like break out of it so that
Mhm.
you can level up. It usually is the same kind of thing with your closet. When you're feeling like nothing is resonating with you, it's because a lot of you inside has changed. it may not even be that, your body has changed at all. It's that you're going through a big moment of transition, and you're ready to leave a lot of, your past self behind, and your clothing no longer reflects the new you that you're evolving into.
Oh my God, that's so brilliant. And then the problem that can sometimes happen is you still keep transitioning, but then you still are wearing your old closet.
Yes, exactly.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's not good. And then that's also when you don't feel as good.
Mm-hmm.
You just because you don't feel like yourself. You don't feel
Right.
like you're showing up 100% as, how you want to be seen, how you want people to perceive you,
Mm-hmm.
or you feel like you're giving off a message that isn't the message you want to be sending out to the world. People are making these assumptions about you, and you're like, well, that's not who I am.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
it's because there's that
Yeah.
conflict.
That's really interesting because I actually had a situation where that happened last night. I've been going through a good fashion trek lately where I've been very happy with everything,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then and it's been feeling good and it's been fun. And last night, it just wound up that I didn't have anything that I technically wanted to wear. So I tried something that I've had in my closet literally for almost 2 years now, and I've never worn it. And I was like, well, let me try wearing it tonight. And I wore it and it was fine. But here's what's interesting. No one and not that I go to events for people to compliment my outfits, but I do find that when you love your outfit, people compliment you. When you are unsure of your outfit, people don't say anything, right?
Yeah.
I noticed that, and no one said anything. And when I got home last night, I took that outfit, or I took a part of it, because I was wearing it with the bodysuit. I love my bodysuit. I kept that.
Mhm.
And I took the skirt and I put it in my Goodwill bag because I was like, clearly I am done with this.
Mm.
And I just wanted to
Yeah.
share that.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
you're so, so right about the compliments that you receive,
Mm-hmm.
based on how you feel in an outfit. And it's because you're giving off that, you're like exuding that confidence. Like it's just radiating from you, that's what people pick up on.
Mm-hmm.
They may genuinely love pieces of your outfit. And of
Of
course,
course.
you're going to get compliments on that too.
Mm-hmm.
But it's when you walk into a room and you're like, yes, like I know I feel good in this and I look good in this. And
Mm-hmm.
they pick up on that, whether they're aware of like that's how you're feeling or not, but
Right.
they want to compliment you because they're attracted to all of that confident energy that you're giving off.
Right, in your outfit. So
Mhm.
what is your suggestion to someone that, let's go back to that space of being frustrated, feeling like you have nothing to wear, and kind of being in that space of transition? And it may be a transition where you realize, okay, I don't like the way that my body currently is, or I know it's time to leave this job and move into something else, or whatever transition may be presenting to you. Let's say you're in that and you're recognizing the transition, you're recognizing that your clothing is falling flat. What is the next step?
I would definitely suggest going through your wardrobe, spending a good amount of time, and just doing a good old closet purge.
Mhm.
Like you don't have to get rid of everything. It doesn't have to
Right.
be like, typical what not to wear, throw all of your clothes in a metal trash can
Right.
situation.
Yeah. Don't
But
dump them all out on the lawn.
right, yeah. But you should definitely go through and get rid of the pieces that you don't like, or that you just don't feel good in for
Mhm.
whatever reason, or that they don't have good memories associated with them, because it's when clothes have that kind of negativity associated with it, it's negative energy that you're allowing to keep in your space, and that's never a good thing.
Right, which is,
Um,
like, so musty.
so I would say just go through your wardrobe and, create a pile, like, just take to donations, to Goodwill, to do like a wardrobe exchange with friends. There are so many different stores now that are accepting like donations, whether it's like in exchange for a discount on, your purchase there, or just to like be able to recycle responsibly.
Mhm.
So yeah, I would definitely start by just getting rid of those pieces that are are no longer good for you, because then you might be surprised or rediscover the pieces that at first glance may not feel like, they're good pieces, but they might end up feeling like better staple pieces, or you might get inspired of different ways you can wear them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
go through your closet.
Go through a purge. What about for people, I think sometimes people feel guilty about getting rid of clothes because they're like, oh, it's perfectly fine or it's in good condition. How do you work around that mindset?
Yeah, that's a tough one, especially, since if you're trying to be, environmentally friendly, you don't want to like get rid of things. You want to figure out other ways that you can like repurpose them. But honestly, if they're pieces that are there, even if they're never worn, even if they still have the tags on them,
Mm-hmm.
depending on how old they are, you can always, you can take them to places that do consignment or secondhand, or different websites that can give you money in exchange for them. But really, if you're not wearing them, if they don't make you feel good, if they don't fit, if you don't love it, they have no business hanging out in your wardrobe. And no matter how new they are or what kind of condition they're in, they are just taking up quality real estate in your closet or holding on to negative energy that, again, has no place being there. So you gotta make that call.
Yeah, precious real estate, because it's very true. I mean, I am blessed to have a big closet, but it's still pretty full.
Yeah.
So I'm always making space for it. And I think with the mindset piece of it, it's literally like making that choice. Like, yes, this has, qualities that quote unquote make sense, but they're not making sense for you right now. And honestly, I find that most of these pieces were out of sight, out of mind. You saw them, something triggered within you to be like, oh, no, I need to keep this. Or you fantasize some event. That's what I used to do. I used to fantasize, oh, well, I'm going to go to the gala with the prince, right? Like, this, like I like make up these like reasons to keep it, but then it becomes out of sight, out of mind again anyway. So just recognize the pieces that are often out of sight, out of mind will continue to be that way. So just get rid of them.
Exactly. Yeah, you're so right. And I think what a lot of people also don't realize is, in addition to planning and fantasizing about events that you're going towards, people also fantasize what their body is going to look like too, by holding on to pieces like, oh, for the day that I fit into this again, or like, oh, I'm going to work out so I can wear this. And that negative self-talk that occurs, like all that message is telling you is that, like, I don't accept my body the way that it is right now. And no one needs that. And whether you have that exact thought or you don't, by seeing pieces on a regular basis that don't fit your body for one reason or another, it's a negative reminder that you're not accepting your body how it is at this moment in time.
Right. And accepting its, evolution and where it needs to be and how it serves you. It's so true, because I also used to be that person that would hold on and be like, when I lose the 10 pounds, when I get back into these jeans. And here's the thing that I've always come to notice is, if let's say I do lose the weight, I want to buy new stuff anyway, because I just lost weight and it's exciting. And there's also there's some like there are jeans I've held on to, and then it's like, this jean isn't in style anymore. This waist is too low, or these pants are too flared. Like the style doesn't even work. So it's like we're holding on to things that are now out of style. And so it's just like not a match. Don't do that.
Exactly. And I mean, just like your body changes over time, like you as an individual change over time. So just to say that those pieces will still resonate with who you are if your body changes.
Right.
So, you probably will want to replace them with something that connects with you on a better level anyway.
It's so true. And you can always, let's say there is that piece that you gave away, right? And you're like, you can now, there are so many beautiful tailors and seamstresses out there, and designers that are, able to custom make pieces and design things and repurpose, other stuff, or vintage shopping. Like I feel like if there's something that you once loved that was lost, it can be found again.
Yeah, I completely agree with
Get
you.
creative.
Between like all of those websites that are consignment or secondhand, plus all of the stores that do that, plus eBay and Etsy, and absolutely more tailors and designers that you can connect to. Yeah, there's so many options. There really isn't a good excuse for holding on to something that's just, not right for you anymore.
Yeah, it's so true. And like if you're someone like me, you get bored of your clothes very quickly. Like I'm always filtering through, because just like I change my outfits throughout the day, I also seem to change my wardrobe personality throughout the year. And
Yeah.
I notice that it evolves. And again, for me to keep evolving, because I'm never, life is never going to be perfect. I'm never going to hit every single goal. I'm never going to just be like, okay, I finished.
Yeah.
And it's the same with our clothes. Like there's never an end point with them, unless you're a nun, I guess, right? They are wearing the same habit every day.
Yeah, that's a good point. Because I mean, I even have clients who I haven't had any clients who are nuns, but I do have clients.
Oh, let me know when you do.
I
Sister, if you're listening, contact Susan. Praise be.
But I do have clients who have really limited options for their dress codes for work, especially.
True.
And we still find ways that they can highlight elements of their personality. But again, I feel like a nun would be a little bit more limited than what I'm used to.
Yeah, I don't know what the parameters are now within the holy wardrobe. Some of them don't wear habits anymore, or right, the headpiece. And some do wear, I think. Oh, whatever. I don't know. We're not going to make this about nun wear. But I am intrigued, especially I once considered that path.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah, I did. I don't know. I just thought it'd be cool. I think what it was I was kind of tapping more into my spiritual goddess side, but there was nothing to compare it to.
Yeah.
Besides nuns.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So I didn't really understand the connection. And then I actually even stayed at a convent for a weekend, junior high. And then I was like, oh, no. This isn't what I thought. I used to be very obsessed with the Sound of Music. Like I definitely just had a different connotation of what it meant to be in a sisterhood devoted to God.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. I can definitely understand that.
Yeah. And then I also discovered puberty and orgasms. And I was like, oh, well, this is also necessary for me.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So we strayed from that. So, okay. So back to clothes. Okay, so let's talk more about fashion. Well, one thing I want to talk about a little bit, because this is a hot topic right now, and we kind of touched on it with, when you go through your wardrobe, purging, finding places to donate to, et cetera, et cetera. But sustainable fashion, right? Fast fashion is like one of the biggest issues right now is when it comes to over manufacturing, like major waste loads, like people being underpaid, whatnot. And so how do you, how can someone shop with a budget, right? But also sustainably, and also with a sense of integrity?
Yeah. So I think it helps to do your research before you shop, because there are larger brands and designers that do make more responsible choices, so that if you are kind of limited or you just need to go that like fast fashion route, you can at least support the brands that are taking steps to support how their pieces are being made.
Yeah. Do any come to mind for you?
I know Madewell makes a lot of good choices. There are certain denim companies too that are making more responsible decisions with how things are made. Last I heard, the brand AG, which is like one of my favorite jean designers, they're they're more sustainable and ethical in the way that they approach their creations. But I mean, thankfully for us with living in Philly, I feel like the sustainable fashion industry is like really growing and evolving in Philly. So there are a lot of different brands and boutiques and designers that have really made it their mission to make sure that every element of their business is supporting just the environment.
Yeah, which is amazing because technically you don't have to do that. You don't.
Yeah.
You can still get away with, outsourcing overseas and so many other different pieces. But the fact that designers are taking these factors in and wanting to be ethical about the way that they produce their designs is really important. And so I do think that maybe, it means you might have to invest more in a piece like that. But if it's a really great piece and you're really in love with it, you will wear it and you will use it and you'll feel that integrity. It's really interesting because I find that I also carry myself a little taller, if you will, if it's a designer that I know, or if I know that it's morally produced, if you will, as opposed to now, like when I wear something that's a little bit more of a fashion label, it's almost like I want to hide a little, like,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, I totally hear you. And what I love too about a lot of the more sustainable, like slow fashion designers is that they'll create pieces, that are relevant in terms of like current trends, but they're not overly trendy.
Right.
So that they are pieces that, when you invest in them, you'll get that lifespan of the true lifespan of the garment, as opposed to something that you would purchase in the more like fast fashion route, where it's only meant to survive for as long as the trend survives.
Yeah, right.
And, then you're just done with it anyway. But,
Yeah. So what are some good pieces right now that you think are like durable, that like will kind of make it for the long haul?
I think I am like really in love with high-waisted pants.
I hope they're not going away, right?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I feel like there's just a whole tribe of women that would really like flip the fuck out. Myself included. I would be leading that tribe, being like, no.
No, like they are here to, if they are here to stay for the rest of my life, then the rest of my life is looking really good.
Same.
Like really good. Like I say, like the higher the waist, the closer to God.
Yes. I love that. There are, and I love that they're incorporating different leg shapes too with the high waist. It started out with just like inching up the waistline of the skinny jean that we were all in love with. But now it's like you can get wide leg, you can get flare, you can get, more like a vintage cut where it's like close to the hip and then the flare starts. It's, I love a high-waisted pant. They're just beautiful.
Me too. I mean, I even hiked my sweatpants up higher than I think you're supposed to because I'm just like, which kind of makes me look like an old man now that I'm looking down. I definitely look like I'm in my 80s. And,
it's okay. No judgment.
Soon. Yeah. But yeah, it just, there's something about it. It just feels so secure and it's so flattering.
Yes.
I love. Okay. So high-waisted, we are saying here to stay. Anything else? Any other like pieces that are worth investing in?
Right now, what I've been really loving is that you'll find a lot of outerwear that is made from like a softer material. So it can be like a jacket, but it can also be worn almost like a sweater too. And a lot of them have been cut in like a moto jacket style or like a drape front style sweater, but they have just enough structure and that combination of like structure and softness. So you feel like you're wearing almost like a sweatshirt, but it has a little bit more of an elevation that like a blazer would have, but it's not as stuffy as a blazer. And
I dig it.
Yeah, because you can like roll the sleeves up, which is totally my jam. Because I just like that more. Like comfortable lived in look of
Mm-hmm.
like a puffed sleeve or pushed up, a zhuzhed sleeve,
Yes.
if you will. So yeah, those have been going really strong, and I feel like we'll be around for a bit. So
All right, cool. Get yourself a moto jacket and some of those high-waisted jeans.
yes.
I love it. Okay. So let's segue back to the emotion of clothes.
Yeah.
One of the, we were talking about that feeling of like that we often get to that sometimes it's like, oh, I have nothing to wear. But what about the moments where either you're with a client or we know that, I mean, myself included, we have moments where, you know, we want, we need a new wardrobe, or we're working on ourselves, and part of working on ourselves is including our wardrobe, which I think is a beautiful composition of self-help. But some days we just aren't feeling it. Like, we're not happy in our body, we're not happy in the process. What do you do when you have a client and you're trying different things on and you're just feeling like she is not in this, or she is not happy?
Yeah. That is where I really need to tap into that intuitive
Mm-hmm.
side of me, that empath side, and be like, what is going on here that isn't being communicated? Because it's always something that they're feeling internally and emotionally that they feel like they can't share right away, but it's coming out like, a big like red flag or like big red light. It's just like, nope, this is not working, because we need to work through some emotional stuff first
Mm-hmm.
before we can find something that is a good, a good fit, if you will. So that's when I just really take the time to talk to them, be like, and try to figure out what it is that they're feeling inside that's coming out. And sometimes it has to be, a matter of questions that kind of gets us there in a little bit of like a zigzag path.
Mm-hmm.
And other times it can be more direct. Sometimes I just get that hit from my guides that say, like, yes, it's okay to go there. Like, she's
Mm-hmm.
ready. She just needs that permission. And other times it's like, no, she needs to be led there.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to kind of like take one layer off at a time.
Yeah.
Um, and then once they are able to really open up about how they're feeling or what's been triggered, then that's when we're able to be like, okay, now we're ready to start talking about clothes again.
Right.
Now
Yeah.
you're able to look at yourself in a way that isn't being um, clouded
Mm-hmm.
by all of these emotions and feelings or memories that have come up because of the process that we're going through.
And it's so amazing that you can, again, intuitively see into that and start to unpack that with the individual so that it can be lifted,
Yeah.
right? So that it can be removed from the situation, or at least removed enough for the moment, and hopefully continue to work on the sidelines and going forward, right? Maybe not with you per se, but with other people or whatever their support system looks like. But to kind of use the situation, which I'm sure happens a lot, and I'm sure people don't expect it. They're like, oh, I'm going to see a stylist to
Yeah.
help elevate my wardrobe. And then all these emotions come to the surface, or you're able to tap into something that makes them realize maybe where they've been holding back or what they've been holding on to, which then, of course, becomes an opportunity to continue to explore.
Yeah. One of my clients once told me, when she was talking about our time that we had spent together,
Mm-hmm.
that, it's about the clothes and not about the clothes
Mm-hmm.
at the same time.
Yeah.
And I really appreciated that perspective, because yeah, it totally is, obviously, like, we're shopping or we're going through your closet. And in that sense, like, yes, it's about the clothes, like the physical clothes that
Right.
you will, have. But in another sense, like, it's really not, because we're bringing out those elements of your personality, like who you are right at this moment as an individual, not about your style, but then like we're bringing that out so that you feel comfortable highlighting those parts of you, and how that ties into the clothes that you choose to wear.
Mm-hmm.
It's yeah, it's definitely a multi-dimensional process.
Yeah, it really is. And so what about the people, and I've been there before, like we're either, I'm in the dressing room of the store, I'm by myself and I'm just having a bad day, or I'm beating myself up, or I'm mad that, you shouldn't have eaten, that piece of cake, and that's why this size pants doesn't fit you, or this is why this doesn't look good on you. And you kind of go down the rabbit hole, and I find for me, I tend to feel this way. I don't normally just go shopping for the heck of shopping and find myself in a dressing room upset. It's usually when I have an event or a family reunion or something big, and there's that expectation that we were talking about and wanting to meet that, and going to a store and not feeling like the clothes are meeting myself where I'm at, where really it's just I'm in a space where I'm like beating myself up. I'm not happy. What would you say to someone that's by themselves in that moment? What do they do?
I think they really need to catch how they're thinking and what they're feeling and identify it.
Mm-hmm.
Hear the thought that's coming into their mind and then figuring out how they're going to manage it.
Mm-hmm.
What are they going to let that thought defeat them and make them feel like, okay, yeah, I had that one piece of cake and now this doesn't fit me. And now I will not have anything to wear for that event. Like, I'm just going to go home. Or
Right.
maybe they won't go to that event because they've let that feeling completely conquer them.
Mm-hmm. Which is
Or,
good. No.
no, go ahead. What were you going to say?
No. Yeah, I would say which we don't want.
No, not at all. Like, you never want that feeling. You never want the reason that you can't go somewhere
Yeah.
be because you don't have the right outfit for it. Like,
Yeah.
that's so unnecessary.
It is.
And, sometimes it's that you're not shopping in the right place,
Mm-hmm.
and that works against you. Like, I know
Right.
so many women that still will shop in like stores that appeal to juniors,
Yeah.
and they're women with,
Mm.
like bodies that have curves that some juniors don't have.
Right.
So it's like they're already starting out at a disadvantage, and it's
Mm-hmm.
just a lack of knowledge.
Yeah. Yeah. And to that also too, to add, like, we can't be attached to the number anymore on like the size, right? It's like, don't worry about fitting into a certain size because it really doesn't mean anything.
No, it's totally irrelevant. Like,
Mm-hmm.
well, it gives you some kind of reference point, so that
Sure. Well,
generally
yeah.
like what you wear.
Right.
That's really its purpose, like its
Mm-hmm.
only purpose. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's irrelevant too. I
Mm-hmm.
always, when I'm working with a new client, I always ask them what their sizes
Mm-hmm.
are in like a plural sense.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like, oh, of course, your shoe size isn't going to be the same as like what you wear in a dress or a jacket,
Yeah.
but sizes in the sense that, when you go into most stores, you are going to range 3 sizes.
Wow. Yeah, that's true.
The
Mm-hmm.
size that you are most of the time,
Mm-hmm.
but depending on the cut, the fit, the fabric, the store, you could be 1 size or 2 sizes larger, or 1 size or 2 sizes smaller,
Yeah.
and that's normal. It's
Yeah.
totally normal.
Mm-hmm. That's
So
true. Yeah. So that was just a little side note. I wanted to kind of drop that because it's true. Because I've noticed I can be anything from a size 6 to a size 12 any
yeah,
given moment, and I don't let either define me. I don't feel better about myself if I fit into the size 6. I don't feel worse about myself if I fit into the size 12. I'm just excited about how this fits and that it does.
yeah,
you know. Um,
yeah. One of my like big rules with my clients is that there is absolutely zero negative self-talk when
mm,
we're working together, whether it's in a fitting room or like at their house. And in any sense, like, I don't want to hear you talk negatively about your personality or your body,
true. Mm-hmm.
because there's so much of that that goes on, like when
Yeah.
we are in that fitting room by ourselves, and
Mm-hmm.
we get caught up in all of that, that you really just need to work on reframing the way that you think about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And and it's never your fault that a piece of
Oh,
clothing doesn't fit you.
yeah.
Never your body's fault.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that it's not the right fit. Like, it's just not the right piece for you. It's just,
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't meant to be, like, however you want to look at it, but it's never your body's fault that something doesn't fit.
I love that. That's so good. And to take that pressure off of ourselves over something kind of as silly as a piece of fabric, right? We're letting, this piece of fabric, this clothing, this number on it dictate our body's worth.
Yeah. When sometimes my clients will, if I try to make sure that they don't see the sizes of pieces that I'm pulling for them, because I know
Smart.
that like sizes and numbers can be really triggering.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes if they do like insist on looking or they check, they're like, oh, I don't know if this is going to fit me, blah, blah, blah. I say like, okay, so we try it on. And if it doesn't fit, we carry on living our lives.
Yes. Right.
You
Matter
carry
of
on
fact.
yeah.
Yeah. And to start looking at it that way and not having such the connection. But another thing that I was thinking of when you were talking was, watching the conversations that we're having when we're with other people, whether it be going out to eat, right? It's like, oh, like if we do order dessert, do we all have to say, oh, we better go to the gym tomorrow? Like, to have to justify being together or talk about our bodies in a way that is shameful, that's become more the norm. I think it's changing. However, to stop taking away from the experiences that we're having with other people in social environments by knocking our bodies, knocking what we eat, trying to justify everything.
Yes. Oh, you were so right about that. And that's something that I really had to catch myself on.
Same.
And I had my husband Tony like help me with that, because I noticed that I would like joke about my body
Yeah.
in like a self-deprecating kind of way, and he would call me out on it. And he'd be like don't say that, like you can't say that. And I was like, oh, I'm just kidding, whatever. But he's
It's
like,
not funny.
no, it's not funny. And he's like, what would you say to your clients? And I was like, oh,
Oh,
yeah, that, yes, message received, message
right.
internalized. And I did tell him, I was like, look, I need your help with this. Like, I need you to start calling me out on it when it happens. And that was the only way that I was able to break the habit.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't have to be like your partner. It can be a friend. It can be a coworker. But somebody who sees you regularly, just be like, look, I don't want to talk negatively about myself or about my body anymore. I need you to call me out on my shit when it happens so that I stop doing it.
Yeah. And it works. I mean, my girlfriends know that. When I first really started understanding my body and understanding that the words that I say to it matter and started learning more about intuitive eating, it was about 10 years ago. And it was crazy to me. I would go to these dinners with my girlfriends and everyone would just start bitching. And I just started saying like, don't talk like that around me. And I'd say like, this isn't necessary. And they stopped. And it was always so much more harmonious. Like they just intuitively knew. I mean, who knows if they talk that way, at other tables, and they might if other girls are prompting it. But they knew when I was around, this is not the conversation that we're engaging in. We are having a meal. You're going to order whatever you intuitively want to, and we're going to freaking enjoy it. And that will be the focus. And the rest will be on just being together and being girlfriends and doing what girlfriends do.
Exactly. Because it needs to be a place where you're not judging yourself or you're not judging other people in order for you to just live that harmonious life that you're looking to live.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you should, I encourage you in your social circles and in your friendships to feel at peace with who you are, because the beauty of friendships is we get to choose them. It's really, like our partners, of course, and our friends, they're by design, they're by choice. And if they're by choice, then they're really amazing people in your life that you can be fully expressed with.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. What ways do you think body image and body positivity is changing right now?
Oh, I am here for it.
Me too.
So here for it. It's funny. I get so many questions about, people asking about like, how should I dress for my body type? Like, what's my body type? And like, what should I wear? What shouldn't I wear? And I shut it down. I'm like, no, like I'm here to help you just highlight what you feel good about.
Yeah.
and it doesn't matter what your quote unquote body type
Yeah.
is.
Like if you're an apple or a pear, like what is that bullshit?
I know.
Like who came out with that?
Yeah,
Oof.
it's just, again, I feel like it's guidelines and structure to give people like a basic understanding,
Yes.
but it's really total bullshit,
It
because
is.
honestly, like, regardless of your body type, you're going to have parts of your body that you love more than others, or parts of your body that you feel like are the best part of you that you're comfortable showing off, or other parts that you like want to camouflage.
Mm-hmm.
And that is totally irrelevant when it comes to like body type, because when, you know, it says like, oh, you should dress your body type like this. Well, what if I don't want to highlight those parts of me that, you know, the rules say I should highlight?
Mm-hmm.
What if that makes me uncomfortable?
Yeah.
And so I think that the movement of body positivity really supports more of just dressing the way that you feel like represents you as an individual,
Mm-hmm.
and being comfortable showing off what you love.
Right. Breaking the rules, so to speak. Right. Because I remember I used to read in like 17 magazine, like what's your body type and petite, plus size, big. Big bone. That used to be what I used to say about myself. Well, I'm big boned. Right.
Yeah.
Like, and as a way to like justify that I, you know, had a bigger frame, so to speak,
Right.
which now I don't even, again, it's not even relevant to me. It's like, this is just my body and it ebbs and flows. And I've gotten to a place where, of course, I still have my off days and we catch ourselves, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
However, it's more about what am I seeing that I'm drawn to, that I'm attracted to, that feels like when I wear it will be an expression of me, no matter, you know, what the anything, I guess. Just, yeah. Is it in alignment?
Yes,
It's a
exactly.
cool spot to be in.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think body positivity has really helped with that.
Yes. And our, you know, supreme goddess, Lizzo.
Lizzo has helped so much. We are so grateful for her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. You
I
know,
love it.
obviously she's not like the only body positivity
No.
goddess out there, but I think she is one that's just been so universal in terms of how she's reaching women of all, you know,
Just,
like
and not just women, you know, I think everyone is looking, and you know, those that are receptive are allowing themselves to kind of get that Lizzo permission to
yes.
just show up however you are.
Yeah.
That's what I appreciate. And that's what I appreciate about body movement and positivity. It's less about, at least for me, the way that I see it is, it's less about what the person looks like, and it's more about the energy that they've tapped into, that they're exuding. And again, just having that feeling of, this is who I am, period.
Exactly.
And taking ownership, right? Taking ownership of our bodies and not allowing magazines and the industry and the culture to depict how we should be happy in our body.
Yeah. I mean, like the magazines and media that you're exposed to should just be inspiration. They shouldn't be like total rules or guidelines. It's just like, ooh, you know, like get inspired. Like you see something that you like take from it what feels right, and then move on.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
I'm not loving, side note.
Yeah.
There is a trend I just noticed with the Emmys, the pink and the red. I don't
No.
really dig it.
Oh,
I don't know.
I kind of like it.
It's too Valentine's Day for me.
Yeah, it's definitely very feminine. It's very like bold, feminine kind of look.
That's true.
So I think that it definitely can appeal to people who are ready to like tap into that like girly, just the girly side to them.
Yeah.
You know, like it's more of a grown up way of, you know, when you play dress up. If you play dress up when you were younger and you put on like princess clothes.
Mm-hmm.
Like wearing that pink and red combination is like the everyday adult vibe for that.
I like it. Adult princess clothes.
Yeah. I mean, personally, like I gravitate more towards like sequins and metallic when I
Sure.
want to feel like a princess, but
Uh,
that's not everyone's jam.
yeah. I'm a tweeta. I'm a cheetah princess or
Oh yes.
queen. That sounds better. That's what my voice was like. Don't go to princess. You're a queen. Cheetah queen.
Exactly. Oh,
Okay.
I love cheetah, and I love all of the like different color cheetah prints
Safari.
that you do
Hmm.
incorporate. I'm a big fan.
Yeah. Anything cheetah, or now I've just extended it out to the whole freaking safari.
Yes.
Here
I've
for
been
it.
really digging snake print lately.
Yeah.
Like that
Snake
came back
print.
last
Yeah.
fall, and I'm here for it.
Yeah. I'm noticing some tiger popping up.
Yeah.
I'm liking. I'm like, I
I
could
think
get down with
tiger's the
that.
new one. Like,
Yeah.
well, new. Like the
Ish.
animal's been around for how long? I'm like, tiger's
The
new.
newer one that we've been recognizing from a fashion perspective. Yeah, so I love it. Okay, so to close, since you are a gorgeous energy reader and you kind of blend that with fashion, so to speak, I would love for you to showcase to me and our listeners how you think I'm doing energetically when it comes to the way that I show up and how my fashion demonstrates that from what you see, and if there's anything else I should be expanding into.
Ooh, I love what you've been doing lately. Like, I love all the cheetah. I love all the vibrant colors, like all the prints that you've been doing for the different events that you've either been attending or, speaking. I love them because I think that it really speaks to that vibrancy that your energy gives off and like a strength too, because when you're wearing not just a print but a print that has a lot of color too, and
Mhm.
like neon colors too, like I know you like as
Yeah.
well. It just, you walk into a room and it says like, I'm here.
Mhm.
I'm confident, and that you don't need to be the center of attention, but you would completely like flourish when you are the center of attention.
So true.
And I love that. Like, I love, it's that triple Leo kind of energy that can come out in those kind of clothes, and I think it's so fabulous.
Thank you. Is there anything you would like me to try or see myself take a little fashion leap into?
I mean, I know I've been seeing you in a lot of dresses and skirts
Yeah.
lately, which I do love.
Mm-hmm.
But, and I know you do wear like high-waisted pants, but I'd like to see you in some high-waisted pants more, like in more like formal settings, like trying out some pants or like a jumpsuit more often.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Okay, so kind of like, yeah, I'm getting a vision of how to kind of dress up the high-waisted pants for going out. All right, I'll play
Or
with that.
that neon romper that 11 wore on season
Ugh.
3 of Stranger Things.
I need that. We do not need the Halloween Party City costume version of it, though. That
No.
is leaked as you showed me. So, okay. So having more fun with neon like dressier jumpsuits and high-waisted pants. I can play.
Yeah.
All right. I like it. I receive that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And I receive you for being on here. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me on. It was such a pleasure.
Of course. I love all of your guidance. And again, just the way that you tap into the feminine and intuition and you bridge that with something very special, but also very necessary in our life, which is fashion and clothes. And I know that you have a retreat coming up. Yes?
I do. Yes. I am teaming up with a woman who does relationship coaching and like love coaching. And we are doing this weekend long retreat in November.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be a whole weekend where you get to really, again, like do that deep dive where you get to really see how you want to show up as yourself so that you can manifest like love, either whether it's love for yourself or loving other people. And then you'll have the coaching from me as well, so that you can make sure that the look that you're putting out is really representing you. And then it has this wonderful culmination of a little photo shoot at the end of the weekend.
Yes.
So you'll get styled and coached by me. You'll get coached by, the wonderful Carrie, who
I
is,
love Carrie, side note.
she is just
Adore her.
wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
And there are going to be other like really fantastic experiences that happen throughout the weekend too. So it's just, oh my gosh.
Amazing. So a little love bubble with
Yeah.
other fantastic people, work through things, shift, get styled, get lovedified, and then get photographed.
Yeah.
I love it.
Just, be able to capture all of the evolution that you've gone through and, and kind of like, you can use it for your dating profile, but you can also just use it to look at it and be like, yes, no, this is what I want to stick to. Like, I want to hold on to those feelings and keep doing the work so that I can continue to love myself and manifest that future love for me.
I adore it. Amazing. So that's coming up. People can find out on the website, all the things. Cool. So what is your website?
For the retreat, it is emergeretreat.com.
Okay.
So on Instagram, it's Emerge in Love.
Ooh, Emerge in Love.
Emerge in Love.
Amazing. And then how can people find you, my emerging love?
So I like you, am a huge fan of Instagram, and that's definitely where I am the most active. So you can find me at Susan Padron _stylist. My website is susanpadronstylist.com, and that's where all my contact info is and all of that.
Love it. So in the song of Lizzo, Juice, what's some last little juice you can leave us with?
I guess never let anyone else just dull your light. Never let anyone tell you that you can't show up fully as yourself, because who are they to tell you?
Ugh, no idea.
Yeah,
no idea.
So show
Love
up
it.
as you and love it. Love every moment of it.
Thank you for that juice.
You're welcome. Now I'm like singing Lizzo in my head.
I know. I am too. I'm doing a little shimmy. I need to see if I can get the rights to that song so I can play it on here. I probably will not be successful in that. That is not me putting myself down. That is not me in a lack mentality. I just am being realistic about the show's budget.
Yeah, and that's understandable.
But hey, you never know. Maybe I'll slide into her DMs and we'll see.
Yes.
Cool. All right. Well, Susan, you're amazing. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you.
Thank you. I appreciate you too.
So tell me, did you love this episode? While I may not need your validation, I certainly love it. So go ahead and make sure that you are following or subscribed or have reviewed this podcast in whatever app you listen to. And let's support the show by supporting each other. Share this out with a friend or someone that you know would just love to have a juicy listen. I adore you. You're amazing. Thank you.